Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Adrian Mendonsa, and in the fall I'm going to be a senior. And I'll be graduating with my Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering and a minor in Chemistry. So today I want to talk a little bit more about my time here at Drexel University. So I'll start off with where I'm from. So I'm from the small city called Dubai, which is located in the Middle East. For those of you who don't know, yes, we do have the world's tallest tower, and as proof, there's actually a picture of me jumping on a sand dune in the desert. So I'll start with my freshman year. I started off by joining the engineering learning community, which was in Myers Hall. And through that program, I had the opportunity of living with other engineers and taking classes with them and working with them on group projects. And at first, I was a little bit scared because I did not know how it would be to live with engineers 24/7. But when it rolled on to having classes and especially exams and working on group projects, it was really convenient to pop by next door and talk to my roommates or neighbors who happened to be in the same classes with me. But however, we didn't study 24/7. We also had fun. We took trips to Six Flags together, and we even went down to Washington, D.C., and through the engineering learning community, I made some really good friends, some of which I'm still in touch with till today. So, how many of you were undeclared when as of now? Cool. I came in undeclared too, and at first I did not know what I wanted to do, but luckily I had the freshman design program to help me. So I worked on a bunch of projects, and they introduced me to different majors. So the first project we worked on was the Rube Goldberg machine, which does this. So this introduced me a little bit more into structures and design, which would more or less gear me towards civil and architectural engineering. The second project was actually building a robot. So that introduced me a little bit more into coding and electrical engineering. And for those of you who are wondering, we call that robot Darthbot, and he sang the Imperial March. But the one project which really resonated with me and I hold dear to my heart was the one which I did on the last spring term of my freshman year. And this project was special to me because this is what made me fall in love with my major. So I got to work with some of my closest friends who happened to be in other departments. So it was a great experience, but the reason why it's special for me so much so is because I got to explore fundamental topics in the field of chemical engineering, and here I am 4 years later. So my freshman year wrapped up with the STAR Scholars Program. So STAR stands for Students Tackling Advanced Research, and it's an optional summer research program that runs in the summer term after your freshman year. So through this program, I worked with a professor in my department called Dr. Baxter, and we worked on producing solar cells. And through this program, I actually found out that I really liked research, so much so that I'm excited to pursue my PhD after I graduate from Drexel University. So my first co-op in my sophomore year was at PQ Corporation. So PQ Corporation is one of the leaders in the field of specialty chemicals and catalysts. So at this co-op, I worked as a research and development process assistant at their facility in Conshohocken. So at this co-op, I was helping them produce silicates. So you might have seen these in your snacks, shoes, clothing, and these are the small beads. So while I was there, it was a great co-op for me, specifically because I got to do site visits, I got to help with sales calls, and even help with production. And as a fresh graduate in the field of fresh member in the field of chemical engineering, this was scary for me, but I saw the benefits when I came back after the co-op ended because I could apply whatever I learned directly into my classes. So my second co-op, I knew I wanted to go abroad, but luckily enough for me, I managed to split this into two halves. So the first half actually wound up going back home to Dubai, and that's something you guys can do if you want. You could commute from home to work. So I worked at a small company called Europac Industries as an operation engineer. So at our specific site, we produce detergents, soaps, and other cosmetic care products. And this was really cool for me personally because before this, I did not know this was a field I could, have a career in, but it was a great exposure for me nonetheless. The second half of that co-op, I ended up going to Germany. So before this, I did not know where Braunschweig was. Yeah, I genuinely didn't know, but it so happens to be that it's 4 hours away from Berlin. So while I was in Braunschweig, I co-opted at a university where I was helping them produce green paints. So what this means is that we try to produce paint so that if it does go into the ecosystem or waterways, it doesn't damage the ecosystem. So yes, I did watch paint dry. But it was for research. It was a good cause. And it was a great experience for me personally because I got to explore Europe. I got to learn a little bit more German, and I got to see a gorgeous sunset on my way home from work every evening. So my third co-op and my final co-op is at FMC Corporation. And FMC is a chemicals company that operates in the field of agriculture solutions. So over there, I'm working as an environmental health and safety engineer. And it's actually located just right down the road, a few blocks away from Drexel University. So the commute is amazing. So while I'm here, actually, this was my first week, and I successfully completed the first week of my co-op. And so far, I've been involved in various projects. For example, I just signed off on an EHS, or Environmental Health and Safety audit that's going to be issued company-wide. And it was nerve-wracking, but yeah, I got through it, and it was super exciting to actually be part of something so big. So I mentioned a lot about my classes and co-ops, but I want to ensure that I do have a life outside of that. So for example, I am part of a student group called Dragons 24, and we work with university leaders to communicate any student needs, concerns, and also in addition to that, I play on an intramural soccer team that plays every spring. Also, Dr. Walker mentioned professional societies. So last term, I served as the vice president for the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, which is a student-run affiliated society of the nationwide AICHE. And through this program, through this society, actually, I managed to meet a lot of mentors, alumni, hiring managers, and all of them have given me great career advice and have really helped me make the most of my Drexel experience. So I've spoken a lot about Drexel for the last couple of minutes, but I want to ensure you that we do have a life outside Drexel University. So I run a lot, and I've recently found out that I actually enjoy photography. So this is a photograph on the far left that I took on a run along the Schuylkill Yards, and that's something which I've been exploring. In addition to that, I've been also exploring my more artistic side. I'm still developing it, as recently me and my roommates decided to have a Bob Ross paint night. Yeah, I'm still learning. There's a reason why I'm all the way at the back. Also, in addition to that, I recently took a hip-hop dance class, and that introduced me to the dance community and the dance scene around Philadelphia City. So that's actually a small dance group that we formed, and we perform here and there sometimes. So that's something which I've been exploring. So at the start, I mentioned that I am going to be a senior in the fall, which means I've been thinking a lot about my time here at Drexel. And recently, one of my old friends just asked me, he's like, so what made you come to Drexel University? And I thought about it for a while, and I have to say, it's obviously the fact that our mascot's a dragon. It's pretty cool. No, but what really brought me to Drexel was the co-op program, actually, because, I mean, to get that work experience and to see if what you're doing is something you would like to pursue for the next couple of years, that's an amazing experience which mattered a lot to me. The second reason was actually the community. So the chance to work in such a collaborative and supportive community was something that mattered a lot to me. And my time here at Drexel has just been something that's completely amazing. It actually exceeded all my expectations. So I thought I would come here for an education, but in fact, I actually found out and found a career that I could pursue. I thought I would make friends, but I found a family. And above all, I thought I would just come to an education institute, but I genuinely feel like I've come home. So with that, I would like to thank you for your attention today, and I really hope that you enjoy your time here.